Okay. We had a Lieutenant Grady that was our commanding officer, and he wanted to go overseas, and he did. Then they sent us a warrant officer, Mr. DeStefano. So one day, he tells me, get the boats, 2 of them that were taken to dry dock. He says, we'll bring them alongside and come out and take them up the line. So I said, sir, you're not gonna make the turn because the wind's blowing north and it's gonna push us right on the beach. He says, I'm the skipper, you do what I say. Okay, we came out. A couple of minutes later, we were washed up on the beach. So he got court-martialed. And there was nobody there. I was a leading non-com, so they made me in charge. So I was giving everybody 3-day passes. I even got a big, for a couple of days, and then the war was over. And, well, anyway.
We're talking about World War II.
Yeah.
We're talking about World War II.
Yeah. And these guys decided to get a couple gallons of wine. So they started drinking wine, and there was one of the fellows that was in our outfit, he had false teeth. And he got sick and he heaved, and there went his teeth.
Oh.
So he had to stay in the service until he got his teeth, because he was ready to get discharged. Yeah.
What was the name of your unit in New Orleans?
1008th Quartermaster.
1008th Quartermaster.
Yeah.
And that
But
was.
we belonged to the Air Force, 8th Air Force.
So you were in the Army or the Air
Army
Force?
Air Corps, I
Air
think.
Force.
The Army Air Corps.
Yeah, that's what he was.
It was.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it became the Air Force later, right?
Yeah.
For fatigues, they gave us Navy.
Oh my God, that's a
Navy.
travesty.
Navy
We
hat,
should go, we
real
lived,
beanie.
see, we stayed off the base, so we had to go with the truck for chow. And this captain looked at me and says, hey fella, what service are you in? I says, Air Force. I had my sleeves rolled up. He says, look like a soldier, roll them sleeves down.
So you're in the Army, flying for the what will be the Air Force, wearing a Navy uniform.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So our government, they haven't really changed much. It's been, I was in the military. It's about the same.
Got the same.
Pays a little better, but not much.
I had 2 other fellows that were from back east, they were Italians. And one was a radio man,
Frank Sparrow.
Frank Spurl, and Shorty.
We still keep in touch with him.
Shorty was a deckhand.
Yeah.
Shorty was my babysitter.
They used to
That's
babysit
right, yeah, you were
Anthony.
telling me about that.
He was the one that was a boxer.
He
Yeah.
spoke very fondly of him. He remembers him,
Yeah.
taking care of him.
They used to babysit him, so we could go to the movies. In those days, you weren't allowed to bring a child in the movies in New Orleans.
In the 40s?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And they would babysit Anthony, so Frank and I would be able to go to the movies once in a while. If it was Frank Sparrow, and Shorty would stay with Anthony. He'd spoil him rotten, done do whatever he wanted.
Well, he's the Godfather, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You know, the funny part of it was the first sergeant used to be the mechanic on the boat. And I used to tell him what to do. But on shore, he used to tell me what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew a lot about running boats from fishing with my grandfather.
Oh, nice.
That's how he knew how to run the boats compared to the other guy that didn't know what to do.
All right, we're going to come back and talk about that. Thank you very much.